Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're in another creative conversation at Arizona Artisan Creations. We're at 8800 West Water Street here in Marana, Arizona. And today we are talking to Urban Desert and Leah and Brian. So they've got some amazing body care soap products, and we're going to learn a bit more about them. We do have some questions from our followers on Facebook. So please follow us here, because if you want to know something about one of our vendors, this is your opportunity to ask, and I'll just be your mouthpiece. Anyway, that being said, so first, Urban Desert, I always ask, where did you come up with the name?
AI helped a little bit, honestly. I was like, this is kind of the business that we wanted to go into. I wanted something that was a little bit of a play on words, something a little bit Southwest desert, and then I came up urban desert with a little help of AI.
Yeah, you got the city, more urban, but we're in the desert. So okay, that's
it wasn't
good.
Completely me.
I know we were discussing using herbs and stuff like that in our actual products. We have a creosote bar that we do make the creosote oil just in the backyard. So
cool.
So there's an application.
Okay, I get it. I'm a little slow, so awesome. Okay. The other question somebody had was, what is, I guess, your favorite scent?
My favorite scent of soap would be this blue swirl Cool Waters. It's a unique masculine.
Oh yeah, scent. It's how do I explain it? See, I pour candles, so I tear fragrances apart. I'm going to try not to be weird, but it's clean. It's woodsy. It's got a little bit of a citrusy, maybe? Is that it?
Yep. There's a little bit of lemongrass in there.
Okay.
A little bit of bergamot.
That's nice.
A little bit of anise.
Oh, okay. I like that.
It's just such a unique scent.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, how did you guys get started? Was it something where you weren't happy with what you were able to find, so you decided to just make your own? Or
there's multiple things. So, with the prices of everything increasing, it's just I was spending $150 a month on just things from Walmart, shampoo, body wash, all that stuff. I spend now almost nothing because I make almost everything myself.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the last thing is toothpaste and shampoo bars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've replaced everything.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Big help in budgetary, but also just I guess we didn't actually expect how well it would work on our skin.
Yeah.
I was, I'd used normal soap my whole life. I was okay with it. And then we started using it because we'd done some more reading also on some chemicals that we just didn't want to have on us, and kind of went down the rabbit hole of what could we start doing ourselves at home to minimize it, because you can't escape it. Once we actually started using it, I think I told you the first couple times I used it, I was like, this is incredible. I'm not dry. I'm cleaner than I've felt in the past, which shouldn't admit, but fine.
That makes sense, because some of them leave like that residue that you feel you're clean, but until you know the difference.
Well, I have very dry skin, and it's gotten a lot better. So there's a lot of benefits, awesome. And then just once she started making it, she had a talent for it. I don't have that talent for making it look nice. I make it look like meatloaf. So
he made the very first loaf.
Yeah, it
didn't look great, but we still use it. It's a great soap.
You could literally call it meatloaf.
I
would buy it.
I thought about calling it the ugly soap, like doing a line of that.
That would sell.
Right. But the more we make stuff, the more she's like, I want to try something new, and it's just expanded from, we started just making soap. I was just making body butters, tallow balms, lip balms.
Okay, I made goat milk lotion the other day. It's one of the best lotions I've ever tried. It was my first attempt. Awesome.
Now, where are you getting the goat milk? Do you guys get it? Do you have like local farmers, or is it something that I'm not well versed in that? So
yeah, our neighbor has goats.
Cool.
They're all organic. It's a homegrown operation.
He grows almost all of his own food, so he's very in tune with trying to keep things healthy and kind of really, even almost past organic. Like, he wants everything to know where everything came from.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, honestly.
They're fantastic people, and they have a fantastic product, and it's very high fat goat's milk, which means that our product is extra creamy.
Now, I've always wondered this,
Mhm.
and I don't know, maybe other people have got this question too, is when I picture using milk in a product, like, does it spoil? Like, will your bars spoil? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's
Yes.
a milk product, or is there a certain way that it's done that I don't know.
Yeah, so like the goat's milk soap. So this has goat's milk and this has goat's milk. This is a face one, this is a body one. When it goes through so I completely replace the water with goat's milk. So
Okay.
usually when you make soap, you need sodium hydroxide, which is lye, and then you need water.
Right.
I completely do not add water and I replace it with goat's milk. So it's super creamy, but I would say it cuts down the life expectancy of the bar probably by half.
Oh, okay.
I would say.
But people are going to use it right away. They're not going to like store
Half
it.
is still like,
It's a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
And if you keep it in a dry, cool environment, it will last longer.
and once it actually saponifies, it's no longer fat or milk. It's actually turned into soap.
Mhm.
So it does take some of the properties away that you'd have to worry about. But the super fat percentage is what's left.
Yeah,
That's what.
Yeah.
What was your first? Okay, so for me, when I first started making candles, I had like 5 fragrances.
Yeah.
And I was like, woohoo, I have vanilla and rose. Like, what were your first starters that you started with as far as like things when you first experimenting?
Yeah.
Was there one that you really wanted to do, or one fragrance you liked the most when you did that?
When we first started, I did some really niche ones. Like I did a clove soap. It smells really nice, but it smells like Thanksgiving. So it's kind of seasonal.
Right.
So then one that I really wanted to make, I would say the lavender. I love lavender. And this one just smells delicious and it's all natural. And it's such a fantastic bar. But I really want to do something lavender and I did that pretty quickly. But there's essential oils mostly that we were doing from the beginning. And then now we do fragrance oil, which is synthetic, and then essential oils as well. So, I mean, they both have their pros and cons.
Oh, yeah. There's some synthetics. So for me, like some of my soy candles, they can be used on your skin, but it has to be a body safe fragrance.
Yeah.
And their fragrance oils. Essentials don't carry. You would have to add too much and the wick would clog up and all that good stuff. So I always had people ask me, I'm like, no, I can't. And a lot of them are based on the expanded upon, but I always wanted to try essential oils. I was doing salt scrubs for a while and I was using essentials like, this is too much. Like I can't do this. But I would go crazy if I was at a craft fair and I saw a soaper. I was like, and I would go crazy and I would just buy it like mad. And so I'm always fascinated. And even though I have this crazy weird allergy where the things I used to like I can't use anymore, I still want to smell them. Yeah. Like every time I'm in here, I'm like looking at your stuff and I'm like, oh, this smells good. And I'm like, oh, I can't touch this one, but oh, I can smell it. And I'm telling you that this room smells so good right now, like not playing. Monday when people come in here, they're going to be wandering here thinking, what is going on? It just smells amazing. Now, are there certain, like, do you guys do custom orders for people? Like if somebody wanted something for, let's say, their bridal shower or their bridal party, would you do something like that?
We have not gotten any orders in that, but it is certainly something that we are interested in people. We do a loaf basis of price per loaf.
Yeah, so I have, he actually is a coworker. I made them, she has a relative who had a skin disease, and she said, this is kind of what's going on with his skin. I made a special recipe for him, and I made that.
See, I'm going to have to talk to you guys about that, honestly, because it smells so good. And I see so many products out there that I'm just like, it smells so nice, and I can't use it anymore.
Yeah. We're certainly open to it. We haven't gotten, like, that was one where
I'm so excited.
I mean, you can pretty much tell me either the effect that you want or what to omit. And there's certain things like I use so much coconut oil, I could not, I wouldn't feel right selling to someone who had a coconut allergy, even if I washed everything and I didn't contaminate. I just can't do that. So like there's certain ingredients that are so prevalent in our products that if you have that kind of allergy, completely steer clear.
Well, and so the thing that I have, it's a composite allergy, and not a lot of people have it. And people that do, it is such a struggle finding stuff. So that's kind of like, it also causes you to be photosensitive. So I live in Arizona now. I have a sun allergy.
That is.
it's been interesting. Sunflower, safflower, chamomile, lavender, any carnation, those types of flowers that have that bushy or
Yeah.
that star, like rose tulips, I'm fine with.
Mhm.
But those oils, so like I'll go to use something and it'll be like, oh, it has daffodil. I can't use it because it's in that line.
We would love to, if someone has an allergy or anything like that or wants something specific, we'd be happy to work with them and actually
Yeah.
get them a product they love.
Oh, I am so going to be like bothering you guys at this point. Now, again, what is your bestseller?
We sold out of it 2 weeks ago. It's a tallow based soap called Olive Wood Cypress. It's more of a masculine, outdoorsy, cypressy pine scent that is just incredible.
I think my husband's gonna like this one.
That's
I'm
my
not kidding.
favorite.
He likes things that are fresh,
Yeah.
like
That-
more of a
yes.
fresh side.
Yeah.
If he goes anything with like, have you like pines or patchouli?
Mhm.
I'm like, baby, you smell like a
Yeah.
his skin pulls that so
Yeah.
heavily because it just depends on your
Yeah.
own body. Now, what is your favorite? Like, what
My
do you
favorite
like
part,
to use the
like,
most?
so I like a lot of them. One of my favorites that I didn't expect was actually the lemon bar. Like I didn't expect to like this so much, but in the shower, that really just kind of blew up and
Oh my
really
gosh.
nice.
Yeah, that's one of the goat's milk
Yeah.
ones. It's just like a
Oh, you can tell it is
Yeah.
super
soft-
creamy.
Yeah.
Works great, and just I was surprised how
Oh,
much I
that
like it.
smells so yummy.
Another one was the autumn fig one. We had.
Oh
I
yeah.
was banned from singing in the shower after that.
It just smelled like it kind of smelled like a
Well,
human.
how long were you in there? Were you doing like the whole like soundtrack
there
or
was
something?
a persona that came out. There was a bad accent. It wasn't good, but I enjoyed it.
Oh no, that's where you get the video out and like literally be like do ads for it and be like, this is what it
Yeah, I
does.
would have chased people away, but that was one I liked quite a bit.
This smells so good. Like I want to put a stick in it and eat it. Like it really does. I love lemonade. So
Yeah, it's one of our first fragrances that we try, and I just love anything citrus.
Yeah.
what was this one called again?
That one's called Cool Waters.
Look at the size of this thing and the colors, the marbling. Like I'll probably zoom in on it when I edit, but oh my gosh,
Yeah, she
my
has a
husband
real,
would love this.
Yeah, like-
she has a real eye for
This is
making
black
it
raspberry
look
vanilla.
artistic as well. I don't have that.
Oh, that
Yeah.
smells.
I try to get things.
You can
that-
smell it like the dark, like the raspberry, like depending on where you smell it, you can. Oh, that's so cool, and I love those colors. Look at those colors, like crazy. It's like a marble. That's beautiful.
The Olive Wood Cypress was the one she made that was really beautiful. Was the Palo Santo.
Palo
It looked like
Santo
a slab of mahogany, or it looked like a slab of marble.
Yeah, it
really
was like
cool.
a white based soap, and I had these ribbons of bronze, gold.
How do you do that? Like I've always wondered, like how, like we're going resin or candles, you can't do that really without
No.
really messing up the wick.
Yeah.
Resin you can a little bit, but I've never figured. Like I've been fascinated by how you do that with soap.
Some of these are happy accidents.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And some of it is just like with the Palo Santo mahogany with the marble look. Everything was setting up a little too fast. It was when I was a newer soaper. I didn't really know what I was doing as much, and I had way too many colors for my knowledge level. And I panicked at the last minute. And I just started throwing color together, and it turned out to be the nicest bar I ever
Oh,
made.
that's so cool.
Yeah. So, like, for example, this green one over here, that is the only bar I do hot process with. So it has a more rustic look. That started.
That smells nice too.
Yeah, with that fragrance oil, you can only do hot process. So all of these are cold process.
Sage, lemongrass. Okay.
Yeah. So first time doing hot process.
What's the difference?
So hot process, you're adding external heat. So you're using a crock pot or a chocolate melter if you want to do a small batch. And you're heating up the mixture as it's saponifying. So pretty much when you're putting it in the mold, it's already soap. You can pretty much use it in an hour if you want it. And it has that rustic, kind of chunky look to it. You're not going to have vibrant colors. You're not going to be able to do any patterns. So cold process, there's no external heat. The only heat is the sodium hydroxide lye reacting with the water and then emulsifying everything as the fats, oils are melted with the lye and water and saponifying it with an emulsion blender. And then you mold it and you let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks.
What's saponifying?
Saponifying is the chemical reaction when you add sodium hydroxide lye with water and fats and oils.
Okay.
So once they've all reacted, they're no longer their original state. They're now soap.
Okay.
So soap is technically lye, water, fats, and oils.
Fight Club, like
Yeah.
the whole. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
That's like that's the closest I've ever.
Everyone brings, I dislike that movie so much. And everyone brings it up, and they're like, "You're just following the movie." And I'm like,
No, but I mean that's what I was thinking when you were talking about the fats.
Yeah.
It's like,
and you can make soap with anything really. I mean, bacon fat, chicken fat. I want to make a sheep tallow one. We want to eventually get into having sheep maybe, and then doing sheep milk soap, which is much better than goat's milk soap.
Really?
Yeah, it's like what do you say, the champagne of milk?
That's what I've heard described as
very high quality milk, very expensive milk.
I've never thought about that before.
Camel milk soap. There's a lot.
So
of
basically, anything
soap
you
is
could.
basically just an alkaline mixed with fats and oils.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the lye is extremely alkaline. You mix it with fats and oils, and it starts to actually saponify and change the chemical structure of the oils and fats.
Yeah.
So it's coconut oil does not have the same effect once you saponify it as just putting it on your skin does. It actually has a different
chemical properties.
Yes, different properties
than
it would normally. So once you saponify it, it's actually a little bit different. So it makes it a very cleansing bar. It can be a little too dry in there.
Mm-hmm.
So but the order of ingredient is the amount of the ingredient that's in an item. So if you see a lot of coconut oil right in the front, it can be a little bit more of a harsh bar.
Yeah.
Whereas people always assume coconut oil is just good for the skin.
Right.
Yeah. And all of my recipes, I made the recipes myself, and I built them based off of at what percentage is, for example, shea the most beneficial for whatever result you want. And that's how I built out my recipes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how did you, I mean, I know why you did it, but how did you learn this? Was it just like with anything a lot of trial and error, a lot of research?
It helps that she's
well, I mean, yeah, I guess you'd have to be able to find your way out of a bag for sure.
I
But I mean, people always ask me, how do you do candles? And I'm just like, well, it's not just like melting the wax and dropping in a wick.
There's a science to it.
There's, you've got to know like how much fragrance you can add, how much coloring you can add. What can you mix together as far as fragrances before it doesn't smell like trash? Like there's certain things. But this seems like it's a lot more like.
Yeah, I did a lot of advanced science in college that helped, and I was good at it. So I'm like, all right, well, soap is science. I'm good at science. I think I could do this. And I used to be much more creative and artistic when I was younger. So this is a little helpful in getting back into that. Like I design the labels. I figure out what top I want to put on kind of last minute. Some have glitter on them. I just try to kind of push the envelope and get things that are more interesting or that other people don't have. And I
mean they totally are. That's why I couldn't wait to talk to you guys.
I want it to be kind of the look of Lush or Bath and Body Works, but the ingredients of something you would find at Whole Foods,
right,
or something similar. So it looks nice, it smells nice, but it's not terrible.
Well, and I'm sorry, I used to love going there, but I realized, well, one, I can't. Sadly, I can't. There's very, very select ones that I can use, but also if you don't use it for a while, they get weird. Like you go to squeeze out and you're like, why do I have water? Like this, and you can't see through. You've got to shake it out. It's like, did it separate? Like, and it doesn't smell as. It's like, well, so I prefer things that when the care that's put into it, it's not, just mass produced.
Yeah. And if you look at the ingredients on a lot of these things, their most predominant ingredient is a filler, or they put alcohol in there, or there's parabens and sulfates and all of these other things that you don't need, but they need to put it in there so they can sell it for longer.
Right. It extends. It's basically
shelf life.
Yeah, shelf life.
And and there are some products, for example, any lotion that is water-based, that has any water in it, will need a preservative of some sort. It's just if you have water, you're going to have mold.
Right.
So, for example, the goat's milk lotion I made, there is a natural preservative in there, but we're still in the trial phases of the goat milk lotion. I don't feel comfortable selling it yet because there is a very high risk of a preservative failing, and then you have that liability. So I'm kind of doing a trial run on it.
Right.
I've been using it. I love it. I want to sell it, but I don't know yet.
We're not big enough to get
Now I
these
know
things.
vitamin E oil is a pretty good natural preservative.
Yes, I use vitamin E oil. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. I use that in the butters and the lotions, and then you use it in your beard balm, right?
I don't believe I have any in the beard balm.
Okay, but I do put it in the tallow balms. Yeah, I like the vitamin E oil a lot.
Now, are you mixing with her, or as far as
we
like?
do kind of different things. So
Okay.
with the soaps and all that, I step back because she's way better than I am. Like, there's just no question about it. The beard balm, it's hard to mess that up. I don't really have a lot of like artistic creativity to me. I'm more of like I just want to get things made and done. So it's a nice balancing act actually on both sides of that coin. But for the beard balm, I did almost burn down the house last time I was doing it. So, but I did learn that you can pour beard balm with a controlled fire in your left hand and the beard balm in the right, and it's still going to be fine. So,
I hadn't provided him the proper
Wait,
equipment.
what?
yeah, if you get the oil too hot, it will combust.
Oh, it'll flash.
Oh,
yeah, it'll flash. Yeah,
So
I did that once. That was fun.
Yeah, well, you don't let it interrupt your pour. You got the good stuff over here, the fire in your left hand, and it's fine. And it's so no, I don't do a lot of the mixing. I do the beard balm. I just try the.
Did you say beard balm or balm?
I'm not. You know, if I get it hot enough, it's both.
That's how I was doing when you said that. I was like, oh my gosh. So when I first started doing it, everyone starts out with paraffin, and I had gotten orders in, so I was like making a bunch. And my husband came home. We were just dating at the time, and he's like, "Hey, have you eaten?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Good. Well, I brought lunch." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And we have a gas stove, so instead of using a double boiler, I just had the paraffin in my pot on a flame and just sat there and like watched it like a hawk until I saw it was melted and I pulled it off, and then I would stir in my fragrance and everything as it cold. And he said that, and I was like, oh, food, and I was like, oh, yeah, I need to eat. Spacing that I had been melting wax. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, I'm focused, and I run in there, smoke coming out just as I grab it, it flashes. And I'm like, I've got it in my hand, it's a metal thing, and I'm running down our hallway. The house we lived in was an older house, but it had a lot of property. And I run out the back door and I just like set it right outside the carport in the dirt. And I'm getting ready to scoop up a bunch of dirt and drop it in just to smother it. My husband on the other side, he comes out with a pitcher of water and dumps it into it. And we had, I'm sure the neighbors are wondering where the firebomb came from. But it literally just pushed that all out and it just shot straight up in the air. It was like a nice little mushroom cloud of our own. The dogs did not come anywhere near it, which was smart. They saw me freaking out. They're like, no, we want no part of this. And he did that. And I just sat there and looked at him. He's like, and I was like, I forgot. He's like, well, I guess we won't do that again. And I was like, I have not. And I mean, this was 2000, middle of 2001, maybe, because I started at the end of 2000. So this was like maybe just a few months in. So maybe probably beginning of 2001. Yeah. Didn't do that again. Couldn't wait to get done with paraffin either.
Oh, why do people start with paraffin?
It's just easier. It's easier to get a hold of.
Okay.
It's just, I was making them mostly for myself because like you, it's actually really nice. It softens.
It's really for the skin underneath your beard. It softens the hair a little bit, but it also just moisturizes the skin underneath it.
Okay.
Everything that might get stripped out by washing it. And this has got a nice scent that's not overwhelming because you're going to have it right under your nose all day.
It does have a little because I'd be ringing that one up for my husband.
A little bit of beeswax in it too to help with hold. So it does kind of, if you've got long beard, like a long beard or a long mustache, having a balm or a butter works better for hold. Whereas if you got a shorter one and you just want like something to get into the skin, like beard oil is much better. It spreads easier.
Well, yeah, because if you warm that up, it's going to the heat from your hands. So. My husband just got a goatee, but I think he would really like that.
It works really well. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. I use it almost every day. I've got 2 cents so far. We're going to be coming out with more.
Very
and we will be
cool.
coming out with a beard oil as well.
Nice. Yeah. So I started working with soy, and my husband was having really bad allergies. He gets real dry skin, and I used this 100% soy.
Yeah.
And I said, let's try something. And I took some of the melted stuff and I just put on his skin to see. And he reacted. It like took some of the smile. I went, oh, cool. I caught him in my melting pot going like this, and I'm like, no, you can't put more. Your skin can only absorb so much, sweetheart. I'm going to stick a wick to your head if you keep it up. Like, I'm not kidding. He's in there, and I'm like, what are you doing? So I think that would definitely be much better for him,
It's
for
really
sure.
softened.
You do find it awful, yeah.
Well, my growing up, my grandma would have this wax melting pot, and she would stick her feet and hands in it. And
oh, your paraffin. They do
yeah,
use
and then
that
it'd
for
be
that.
really soft.
So it's the whole only thing is this is what I figured out was it's a petroleum byproduct. So that's what that oil is. That's why I stopped using it because I could walk into like when I was house hunting, walk into a house and you know they always have candles burning for ambiance and scent. And I'd walk in and be like, "Ooh, gosh, that is synthetic. Like that's a paraffin. I would know it that quick now. You would know. It's kind of like for you probably because you've got such quality stuff, and if you had to go back to say using a store-bought item, the difference is like, oh, this hand feels really, really nice and soft, and this one feels like it wants to crack because of.
Do you catch yourself reading labels a lot?
Oh, all the time. I have to because of the allergy. I'm constantly like, because see, I get sent a lot of stuff from social media. I'm an affiliate on that, so I get sent things to try and then do advertisements for it. And before I accept the offer, I'm reading the ingredients. Yeah. And there was one, I got a face mask and I thought, oh, cool, it's collagen. It's going to be really good. And I read the ingredients. I was like, okay, cool. And I put it on within 5 minutes. I was just like, someone lit a fire to me. Really? And I took it off and like washed my face. I was like in the tub, just like scrubbing my face off. And I'm like, what the heck? And I looked and I'm reading. And one of the last ingredients was sunflower oil. And I was like, well, that did it. And it's one of the last ones, so it has the least amount, but it's a composite dye. So that's why I'm so interested.
Yeah.
It's we catch ourselves reading labels all the time. Not so much for allergies, but just to be curious of what's inside.
Yeah.
Because now that I didn't know that ingredients were in there by order of magnitude. I had no idea.
Top has the most to the bottom.
And I was just like, huh. And so now the more we read stuff, the more I'm like, oh, that's it's cool to figure that out. But I know that I'll catch her reading soap labels constantly in stores now.
Well,
I know, but that's so. You have to because one, if it's something you might like, you want to go. What do they have in it too?
Yeah. Well, it's also to see, if it's a soap that I used to use and I liked it, what were they using? Or now I'm like, oh wow, I used to like this, but they're using that, and it sheds a little bit of light onto their business practices.
Right. Because I'm the same. I used to use a lot of the big major brand stuff, and now I've had to go to smaller, but I know what is in it because of the reaction to it. Like I said, this was one of the last ingredients, so I know it was a minute amount, but it felt like, I was sitting there and I was like, oh, it must, maybe it's working. It's, it's a retinol, it's causing a little irritation, but that's what it does. But I was, 5 minutes in and I'm like, okay, no, that's not what this is, and I'm like, I got up. My husband's like, like he knew immediately. I was like, Now you guys have got body butters too. Is that what this is?
So that's an anhydrous one. So there's no water in there. So the major 2 ingredients are mango butter and shea butter, which are both.
Can I open it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There might be one of those protector things that you can pop it off.
I just want to try and get a sniff if I can.
And there's no fragrance. That's all natural fragrance.
Oh, okay. Well, then it won't have a smell. Of course, the one I picked, but
slight
the color on it, the color caught me because it does look super, super
I
creamy.
did put a little bit of
and I can still smell it, but I just won't be able to use it.
Yeah. It's nice.
Ray of sunshine.
Because we've tested all of our products. I've tried that. I like the beef tallow balms better.
What is beef? Is that beef fat?
Tallow is beef fat. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's got really everything your body needs. It's almost like it was designed for your body.
beef tallow, but it has a rose hip in it, so it's a slightly softer balm. But we do a whipped beef tallow, which
rose
is
hip oil. Is,
yes.
oh, I love
And
rose
that
hip oil.
works really well. I was anti-moisturizer for a long time.
Skin is skin. I tell
Sometimes
my
you gotta
husband
get
that too.
Your skin has to be able to fight for itself sometimes.
It's your
This was
largest organ.
That used to be my view. Now that I've started using
Fight
this,
for itself.
you know what? The skin's
Oh my
it's got
god!
to learn how to survive. But
Oh my god!
mine wasn't learning, and so now that I use moisturizer, I'm like, okay, I see.
Oh my gosh, that is the funniest.
I see why you use it.
You're
But
looking younger.
I told you I'm going to start smoking. Also.
Oh my gosh!
It will.
I'm gonna start standing out in the sun without any without any SPS. I'll teach you.
That's right. I'm just gonna chew my coffee now.
I won't drink it.
I've replaced my regular moisturizer. I was using CeraVe for years. I stopped using it. They have, if you really look at what they're using, terrible ingredients. I use that morning and night, and my skin has a better elasticity, less acne. I was getting really bad hormonal acne, but I also did stop eating a lot of sugar, so that's a contributing factor. But yeah, I'm a little apprehensive to use beef tallow when we first started. I think you had brought it up.
Yep.
And I thought, well, I don't know about that. I don't want my face to smell like a steak.
That's what I was
It
thinking.
does not.
I'm not sure if I want to smell like a cow.
It doesn't. The tallow that I buy is naturally deodorized, grass-fed beef tallow, so it's a very mild scent. But I mix in other carrier oils to balance that out or neutralize it, like
Right.
avocado oil,
Sweet almond oil.
Yep. Yes.
You probably have that by the gallons.
Yeah.
That's like one of the biggest carrier oils.
And then
So
what's the other one I use? Extra virgin olive oil is also a really good balancer for that.
We use jojoba for certain things.
Jojoba, yeah, that's a
You
good
have
one.
the tallow.
That's rosehip
It is
in
just
there.
rosehip.
There's a little bit
Rosehip's
of other oils in there
amazing.
as well.
Yeah, we
yeah,
use
jojoba.
jojoba. I think we're looking at. We're always open to trying new things as well. Like there's basuba.
Basubo? Basuba?
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the oh, gosh, I don't want to say it's
You can use it in
it's
place
like
of
the
coconut
nut.
oil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually got a vial of that I put on my skin sometimes because I
Okay.
can use it.
Yeah.
So
It's got a lot of apparently vitamin E in it as well. So that's where we're not like against using anything that we haven't tried yet because there's a lot of different things you can add in and customize, and they all have a lot of good different properties to them. So we're always trying to find something new to expand into and try.
and it's probably too the balance, like you said, of you want it to be pleasant and beneficial, not clogging up the pores and
Yeah.
feeling like you're being coated in grease.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Because unfortunately, a lot of the artisan homemade soaps that I see don't look that great. So I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't get that type of audience, and it just looks a little too rustic for me. So I
Mhm.
wanted the cute, a little quirky, eclectic look.
Meanwhile, I like the really rust. Like so it's funny. It's
he
all,
wants it to survive on its
I
own.
just well, that's right. It's got to clean by itself. But no, so it's interesting to see people like she really likes it to look good too, and that's
Well,
nice. It is. But
Like I could do just a, regular block of soap with, nothing on it, but I wouldn't feel happy. I wouldn't be happy to sell it.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Excited to sell
here's some lip balm. I know it's in a coffee can and it works really well. I
I
made it in my kitchen. Like
Yeah.
when people would be like,
I get-
I'm good. This is
She
it's
brings a
pleasing
factor,
to the eye too.
She brings a factor to it that I just don't have, which is
It has to
thank
look
God
good.
you do, because it does.
People have to want to buy it and
It
want
does.
to look at this every day.
Well, like you could always do like a bar with like coffee grounds and just call it man and
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, and then you just here's your coffee grounds
Yeah.
and have it that
Just put rocks in it.
with the sand.
Yeah.
It's an exfoliator.
Broken glass. It's got,
Well, that'll definitely teach your skin to survive on its own.
Right. We're definitely looking at like doing some more fun stuff down the line, some silly you want to do some puns and stuff and some of the names and everything.
I
So-
want to do some of the brands, I guess smaller skincare brands that I like are there's Lip Shit. They Blue Q products. They're just kind of snarky, sarcastic.
I love
I like that kind of stuff.
I have a candle called Monkey Farts.
Yeah.
I have another one, Butt Naked. People go for that. Do it.
Yeah.
You've got to do it.
Yeah.
Like, people like stuff just because of that.
Because it says something. Yeah.
But it's not just going to be a name. It smells nice. It feels good
Yeah.
on the body. So there's that benefit to.
My boss wants me to make a wedge of soap for cleaning cracks.
Oh,
So we will be.
you could call it.
Yeah, at some point we're probably going to work on figuring it out.
There's a fine line of I want to keep the brand, looking a certain way. I want to keep a certain brand, but I also want to have a subset that's a little, kind of sarcastic. And...
There's nothing wrong with that. I would go. I'm not kidding. I can't even tell you how a lot of my videos are very snarky. Yeah. Like, I love that. I get a kick out of them. So I would be like, oh, I have to have this. Like,
we could do the ugly soap brand. That's where we start.
Well, I'm going to start doing gift baskets. So I'm going to have gift boxes. So it's a box. It's a cute little white box, has 4 little compartments. There's going to be like a tallow balm, a soap, a tallow soap, a goat's milk soap, and then something else. And then I'm going to do larger baskets and then theme them certain things. Or if you want it themed something, I can do that. But having, things like that, like if I could do bridal stuff, that would be really fun. Or I don't know, I'd be open to.
You could do like any of them. So there's like a toffee company that I like. They sell something that's called Kick Rocks, and it's a jar of rocks. They will send to somebody that you think needs to kick rocks.
Oh, all right, I like that.
They have their thing, and then they have their little.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. No. People love that.
But extra income. If you start adding, we decided to add in little lip balms. They're not crazy profitable, but it's just a little bonus item that sells really well. Yeah. And I sell 5, I think, yesterday at the farmer's market.
It's your gateway.
Yeah, it's just a little
other stuff that people might like.
And it's stuff that people get excited about. And it's nice to see them get so excited.
Yeah, but it's something just extra that we sell that I'm not making a crazy amount of money off of it, but it's a fun little thing that oftentimes someone will add it in, and there's extra $5.
Well, and not only that, but it's a nice little gift. Yeah. Holiday stocking stuffers. Yes. It's just that nice little thing that somebody can also say, hey, I appreciate you, and here's this, where they don't have to think about can I afford it? Yeah. It's like you said.
And it is, again, it's all made by, we make it at home. It's quality product. So it's, for what you're getting, it actually works out really well.
Like I said, I was so excited to learn more about just where you guys started all of this and the benefits of going with something like this rather than something that is a mass produced. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be a couple of dollars less, but what is it doing to your skin? Yeah. What is it, your skin's absorbing this. What is it doing to your insides? Yes. So mm-hmm. I am.
Well, and it works as good as it looks. I mean, mm-hmm. we if you've ever cut garlic before, you know that's hard to get off your hands. This takes it right off.
One go. What was the other thing I got on my hands the other day?
That was boxing glove funk.
Oh, I put on boxing gloves and I was boxing with him, and the inside your hand. I did not. Your hands sweat.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I was like, I'm not doing this boxing. Were you putting boxes together?
Yeah.
I didn't. It didn't compute right away until you were telling me boxing gloves. I was like, the funk.
And my hands literally smelled like feet. And I'm like, I can't make dinner like this. I can't.
And it's a tough smell to get off.
And so first I used the kitchen antibacterial soap that did nothing. So then I used the Dawn dish soap that did nothing. And my last thing was I had a bar of this sitting on the kitchen sink and I used it, completely gone. I was like, all right, well, there we go. I don't know what this has in it. The others don't. But that did it.
But like you said, it's probably the combination of the things that you have that are so beneficial.
And then your hands don't feel like they're all dried out after using it. It's like we have the antibacterial because chickens and stuff. So we do want to have a bit of kind of germ killing power that these might not have all the time. But general use, we don't want to have our hands cracking and dry. And this has stopped it from happening.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to get some when we open up.
We appreciate that.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
because I wanted to find out, especially like those ingredients I was telling you about that I can't use.
Yeah.
But it does affect like my hands
Mhm.
always look like they are always inflamed, but everything's always cracking. And I want something that's gonna be softer. And I've tried so many things. CeraVe is one of them because it doesn't have those things in it. So
Have you tried? They're
Eastern?
no, it's a Icelandic brand, Norwegian
Here, but I think it's
brand.
usually I could use like on my tattoos, but I can't use on my hands. It makes it's
And look at the label.
irritating.
There's some things in there. That in there.
Well, I actually had an app that my dermatologist gave me that had a list of like the skin things that I could use that had already been gone through their testing and didn't have those products. But I'm just like, I really want to go back to, I had so many natural things that I had to get rid of because they did have those items. I mean, boxing things up was like, this is like getting a divorce from the pretty smelling things right now. So I want to get back into that.
Have you tried beef tallow or no?
Like I just haven't had a chance to stick my hands in beef fat.
I
don't. I just don't know where I could get it.
I sold out yesterday. I have a whipped beef tallow one. It has 4 ingredients. But those you might not. What about avocado oil? Is that
No, that's fine. Avocado oil is fine.
Olive oil?
Olive oil is fine. It's safflower and sunflower.
I don't use either.
Yeah, so those are not. I always call them the no-nos. I'm like, oh, those got no-nos in them. I can't use it.
And then I put a little bit of either local honey, local Arizona honey, or Manuka honey, and it just kind of keeps it antibacterial. And then beef tallow, and I whip it, and it's.
I'm gonna have to try that for
It
sure.
works really well.
Head usually shed, or it gets a little.
Sheds is a good.
Not sheds.
Yes.
I just picture him now, like crawling out, like he's going through his, he's shedding his skin. He's like crawling out of his
dry skin.
Only negative aspect of making it survive on its own is that it tries to leave.
He gets dry skin.
Very dry skin.
And I think it was the first day you tried it. It was like completely gone.
No, yeah, I did. After that happened, I was like, all right, I'm on. Let's do this.
You were using it before I
was shocked. I was like, this is because I talked a lot of trash about the moisturizer. Just Joey, like you only need it because you've used it and now your skin depends on it. And now that I've used it, I'm like, oh no, I see the benefit.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. See, I got my husband on. Not only not kidding. Oh, babe, I'm gonna blast you right now. But he does tend to use like the moisturizers that more females use.
Okay.
Oil lay, things like that.
Okay.
And he'd be like, oh, I need some more. Can you get me some? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, this stuff more than me. So now that I'm getting other products, and I'm like, I want him to try it because, and I was getting him lotions, and he's like, I don't know. One time years ago, he was getting ready for work, and he woke me up to say bye, and I'm like, why do you smell like tulips? I'm like, he's like, I wanted to use one of your lotions, and I'm like, you used Field of Tulips. You smell.
They're gonna make fun of your work.
And he's like, well, it smells nice. And he just went about his thing. And I'm like, all right, he's good with that. More proud. But it was the learning that skin is skin. Like it doesn't matter. You need to moisturize, especially in our climate.
Yeah.
So no surviving on your own.
I'm learning.
I mean, his skin is significantly softer than it used to be. And like I recently switched the type of shoe I was wearing. So now I have these corns on the side of my feet, and I used this one night, and then I used the whipped tallow balm the next night, and they're gone.
Oh yeah, I'm gotta get me some of this for sure. My feet don't want to survive on their own right now. They do want to leave.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to learn how to walk around in the yard barefoot just to toughen my feet up.
Oh my god. Walking on glass and cold.
Well, we'll get that.
Meanwhile, I'd walk through the house and my feet try to stick to the carpet. So yeah, I definitely need that. I sound like Buckle. It's like, are those socks? No, it's bad. It's Arizona. This is what we do. Oh gosh, we are so glad you guys are here with us. I mean, when Aubrey told me about it, I was like, ooh. And then when you contacted me, I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. So I'm really, really glad that we got to talk to you today and learn about like your processes and some of the things you use and the amazing, I'm not kidding, it smells so good in here right now. I just want to keep just live with this underneath my nose right now. Like, what are you doing? Just sniffing? I'm good. Just give me a second. I need my
I'm sure
fix.
you get this with the camera, but I mean, it is a life hack that the house smells nice.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
But I don't have these. So there's always certain fragrance. Like there's certain ones I make in the holidays where my house smells like that. I'm like, okay, I can't take this scent anymore. It smells nice for anybody else, but I am tired of it. It's nice to have other fragrances in, but I am so glad that we got to speak to you guys today, learn more about Urban Desert and some of the amazing things you have. Oh, this looks so creamy. I just can't get over how soft. It looks like you guys stuffed a yellow marshmallow into a jar, and it just looks like if you to touch it, it'd be
It's
just so
like mousse.
Yeah, it really
yes,
is. It really is.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Thick
thinking.
mousse.
Yeah.
It's the colors are gorgeous. The smell in here is amazing, and they're just the ingredients. She knows exactly what's going into this. This is not a mass-produced item. This is something that is made with knowledge, probably blood, sweat, and tears, along with it, frustrations to come out with something so beautiful, so lovely smelling, and so beneficial to the skin. Honestly. As always, if you guys have more questions for them, please leave your comments. Either myself, you guys will have access, of course, to the comments, so you'll be able to answer those. Or I'll pose the question to them and we'll get the answers for you. But please come down, Urban Desert. You can't, it smells so good in here.
And we do have more stuff than we have here as well listed on our website.
What is your website? I'd like to know.
UrbanDesert.com.
Yep.
We ship all over the country. Free shipping after $75,
Yes.
I believe.
Okay, and that's URBAN.
HERBAN. So herb is in like a
HER.
HERBAN.
I know.
Boy, I really messed that one up. Herb, duh. HERBANDESERT.com.
That's correct.
Okay. I will put all of this information in the details of the video so you guys will be able to see more and you'll have all their information there. We're at 8800 West Water Street. We are open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 5. You'll be able to find their things here or you can get to them on their website. I am so glad. I know you guys have got plans after this. I don't want to keep you any longer, but I'm so glad you guys sat down and we got to do this. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
To joining our quirky little family that we have here.
We like it here.
It's
It's very welcoming. People come on in and visit. There's a lot of amazing stuff. It's
nice people.
Nice people.
we try. Maybe we all have our days. No, we're just a quirky, weird little family that we've got going on. So welcome to our quirky little family. And anyone else who wants to come by, we are always still looking for vendors. I will have information again in that who you contact, but Urban Desert, HERBAN, like herb, because I'm slow.
You know, so most people mistake.
I can't believe it.
So many people have asked me questions.
And I know, I even asked you the spelling and it just kind of went.
Okay. Herbal. You said herbal does. I was like, that could work. That could work.
Yeah, because I thought it was herbal at first, and then urban, and then I say it wrong. So
I almost said yes, and I was like, that's an L.
well, I'm glad we got that straightened. And then, I can't edit that out. So yes, I just made a complete idiot of myself here. Oh my gosh, I want to eat that. Okay. That smells like strawberries and cream. Okay. We're going to let you guys go. They have got plans. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for actually agreeing to do this.
Of course, thank you.
I try to make it painless as possible. Arizona Artisan Creations, 8800 West Water Street, Marana, Arizona. We are open Tuesday through Saturday. Our website, ArizonaArtisanCreation.com. Not creations, no S, creation.com. Anyway, we will see you again soon. Please remember to like, subscribe so you guys know when we're doing another one. Until then, I'm so glad I got to meet and talk to both of you. And we will see you guys later. Have a magical day. Bye.
Take care.